Really cute. All right, let's take a live look at the big board. Dow is currently pretty flat for the start of trading. And Kelly, of course, we got this new reading on inflation this morning for the CPI report. What did it say?
It was up 3.8%, right? We look for 2%. That's what the Fed's targeting. That was an annual number. The monthly number for April, it was up 0.6%, right? So that's a lot of numbers. What does it mean? It means that prices are rising faster than they were before. It's mainly driven by the higher energy costs, how it's sort of circling or flowing into different parts of the economy. We talked about airline costs earlier. I did mention that, and I double-checked that number. Prices were up 0.6% in April. Wages were only up 0.2%. Don't want that gap to widen. That's why people felt so behind going back to the summer of 2022 when you had inflation quite high. We're not there, right? You see on the map that high mountain over to the left of the chart. You know, 3.8% doesn't look so bad, but we're trending in the wrong direction. And I think about what the Fed is going to have to do when they have a new chair, likely new chair. The president wants lower interest rates. This reading says
happen.
no.
Yeah, not going to happen.
Right.
And so let's also talk about the fact that the president is considering spending the federal gas tax. Of course, that's got bipartisan support, which is good, but we're talking about 18 cents.
Right.
I mean, is that going to really affect how people feel at the pump?
You know, no. I mean, look, every little bit helps, right? Because when you're filling up 14-gallon tank, it's not a ton, but it does add up if you're doing a lot of driving. The thing is that money is going towards fixing roads, fixing things like that. And so everyone always complains, well, my potholes. And, you don't want that to go away, right? You want that money to be going to its designated place. Here's the thing, though. I heard this and I go, well, that's not going to help the national debt. That's not going to help the deficit problem. So it's kind of, well, this might be a way to show voters as we go into the midterm elections that we hear you. We're not just dismissing the pain. We're trying to do things. But it's not going to bring it down to less than $3 a gallon where it was before the war.
All right, to be continued for sure.
Yep.